So we have got introduced to concept of looping, and we got introduced to the concept of using a for loop, where the repetition of part of the program was based on how many times we want to repeat the part of the program or statements in the program. For example, this was a sample code for loop that we had used, where we said we'll repeat this line of code 10 times. So the repetition count was fixed based on what condition we gave here. So we said we'll increment by start from 0, increment by 1 count, and repeat it till is less than 10. So 0 to 9 was the repetition count that we had used. So cases like this where we know the number of repetition counts, the for loop is the preferred way of writing the program. Now in situations where you don't know the count but you want to repeat something based on a certain condition. So you're basically telling in plain words that repeat this line as while a condition is true, right? So you want to say this, that repeat this line of code while some certain condition turns out to be true. So what is this condition? You can define on what condition do you want to repeat it. So here the count is not fixed. What is fixed is the condition being true or false. As long as this condition is true, we'll keep repeating the line of the code. So what in the syntax wise, obviously we can't write an English sentence like this. So in syntactically we will say while the keyword open bracket, and here comes the condition. So while this condition turns out to be true, we will keep repeating the part of the code which lies between this bracket and this bracket. In this case, it is the single line of program, right? So this condition can be anything which turns out to be either true or false. It could be a set of logical operators, it could be a set of conditional operators, anything which results in the final expression being either true or false will come inside the bracket, right? So uh, depending on is it if it's true, it will enter the block of the code, execute it. If it false, it will skip the block of the code. Fine. So let's write a more practically understandable piece of code for this, right? So what we have done here, we have created a variable called as I, so it's not required. We have created a variable called as char, called ch, which is a character variable, assigned a value of y to it. We are creating the input scanner to take an input from the user, while the condition we are asking is the character value is equal to y. So this expression is a conditional operator, right? We are asking question, is this character equal to y? If it is true, that is if this statement is true, then we will enter the while condition between these two brackets, right? Where we are saying, okay, if character is equal to y, then print this. Now, because this ch value is being used as a condition for decision of do you want to enter the while loop or not, you have to update the ch value. If you don't update it, it will remain at y always, and we will keep entering the loop always. So the program will not come out of the while loop at all, right? So to change the value of ch, we are asking the user system.out.println enter y or n. So we are asking the user to enter either the character y or the character n, and we're using the scanner object input obj dot next dot carried 0. So this we have seen, this takes a string, out of the string we're taking the first character, fine. So that we are assigning to ch. So ch takes a value from this input, and depending on what we have entered, this comparison will turn out to be true or false. If I enter a y again here, this y will go here, y is equal to y, again come inside, print the hello world, again ask for the user to enter a value. If the user enters anything else other than y, let's say user enters n or x or something, so here the condition turns out to be false. Is not equal to y, right? So x is not equal to y. So then it will not enter this while condition. It will simply come out of this, come here and execute it. So we can, just to show that we have reached the end of the program, we can print a line here. out of while loop, right? So that will make sure we're outside the just to show us that we exited the while loop, right? So let's try to compile this and see what we get as output. So the first time the code comes here, the ch value is equal to y. So yes, this is true. So it comes in, prints the statement hello world, which is we have printed here. It asks this question, enter y or n. So yeah, you have to enter one of those two values. Technically speaking, you can enter anything, but the question being asked is the ch equal to y or not? So if you enter anything else other than y, this condition will turn out to be false. So if I enter y now, and sorry, enter y and say enter, so y is equal to y, so it will print this again ask the same question. If enter y once more, repetition same, hello world is printed, again ask the question. So if I enter n now, it came out of the while loop. Why did it come out? Because when I entered n, it went here, it compared n and y, n is not equal to y, so this condition becomes false. As soon as the condition becomes false, it comes out of here, comes to this line, executes this and continues with the remaining program. In this case, nothing else is there, so it stops here, right? So this is where you use the while loop, where you are looping or repeating part of the program based on a certain condition. Fine. So that statement can be any complicated statement, but eventually it should result in a value of true or false for the program to decide should it enter the while loop or should it continue with the uh, part of the code that comes after the while loop, right? So it could be logical operators, it could be conditional operators, it could be anything, but the result of that operation should be either true or false, right? So that's the whole part of using a while condition. So if you, let's say execute this once more. So first time it enters, it says hello world because it's already marked as y. Even if I enter an x now instead of n, still comes out of while loop, right? Because x is still not equal to y. So it will come out of the while loop immediately, right? So that's how a while loop works. We will execute a few more programs to understand the usage of while loop or various scenarios where while loop might look more suitable than using a for loop, right? Thank you.